Hi, welcome to my channel. Part of today's reminder is that, your success or failure, if you want to call it that, um, is based off of your daily habits. Let me start off by think of it this way. You are a character in a book. You are the main character. But you are also the writer or the co-writer of this book. You're co-writing it with whatever you believe in. Let's say, example, you are the writer of your book, right? Of your story. You are at a point right now where maybe you're experiencing something that is not positive. Maybe you have made a mistake, right? And you're not really sure how to go about it. You know, maybe it's something so that's affecting you so much that you feel like you cannot progress anymore, like your book cannot progress anymore, like you're stuck at a certain chapter, a certain level. But let me tell you that the beauty about being in the present is that there's still hopes for the future. The present is not the ending. The past is what already was. The present is now, but the future is yet to come. So there's still hope for tomorrow. There's still hope for the next page, for the next. It's like you're in a chapter that's not the whole book. Your story is still unfolding and still being written, and you have the power to control what happens next. You know? When you read a book and it gets to a point that there's always room for character development, improvement, even with those characters that we really like. When we think about it, is there's always a point where their character has to be developed. They have to learn the lessons from their mistakes. And it's the same with you and me. If you're at that point right now, you get to control what happens next. You can erase, perhaps not erase, right? But you can think of a solution for whatever situation that you are in now. The rest of how the story unfolds is up to you. You can make amendments and corrections by the choices that you choose to make going forward, right? Another thing that another example that I also want to make is like think of yourself as being in a race, but this is a race that is you versus you, and think about it like a relay. At every point is parts of you, things that don't serve you, things that have been holding you back, or things that you've been struggling to release. So at each point, at each level is one of these things. But at the end of the race is like the the last after the last thing that you need to work through, then it's the finish line. So when you get to that last step and you're going to the finish line, it's just you, the renewed version of you, with none of these things that don't serve you and that hold you back. Let's say right now you make the intention to go on this journey, and I would highly recommend you seek divine guidance through it, so that, yeah, as you go through, let's say level one, it could be like a habit, like procrastination or something like that that you're combating. And as you're racing with procrastination, right? Because you need to get through the next level. You're racing through procrastination. You deal with it and you overcome it, and now you go and pass the baton to the next, um, to the next habit or behavior that you need to overcome. And now you are dealing with that to go to the next level and so forth. But you got to remember that as you overcoming and going higher and going increasing in levels, you have won everything that once was an obstacle in your life. You have overcame procrastination. Now you're in the next level. You have overcame um, the distractions in your life. Remember that as you are ascending and going forth, you already beat those things. Don't forget that. Because what ends up happening is that when you're on this race, a journey of ascension, sometimes the tests come as in like these there's gonna be an illusion thrown at you to try to make you seem like these things are still in your life. These still things still have a hold in your life, and it's testing you to remind you that, are you going to remember that you overcame this? Are you going to remember your power? Are you going to remember that this is a new version of you, not the old? You know? So keep remembering what you overcame as you go through that journey so that you can remember that this is a new version of you and not the old. And as you go through that race, especially as you get through that last thing that you need to release, and now is really truly just you fully empowered in your power as who you truly are with nothing holding you back anymore. It's going to get harder the more you go the levels. But remember that you're standing victorious. You're standing in your full power. There's nothing more holding you back. Make it through that finish line. Don't let your thoughts and limiting beliefs and just these illusions in your mind that are trying to hold you back. When I say hold you back, it's like it's an illusion because you already overcame it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be at that level where you're now the only thing that's left is to cross. Do yourself that service. Do yourself that benefit of crossing that line. If you already worked that hard, cross it. Cross it. Maybe you are at the level where you're working through the different levels, but maybe you're somebody that's already overcame all of that. You just gotta cross that finish line. Please do. Please do. I'm gonna look at my notes. I have some more reminders here. I wrote here, remember as you move through the level, the harder it might get and more challenging because the more you grow and overcome, the more the tests grow. The temptations come in to try to throw you off course or hinder your journey, but always remember these are defeated patterns or habits you have already won before you even started, and your growth is just a manifestation of what has already been done. Push through to the end, even if it gets harder, because you're strong enough to get there, then you're strong enough to finish and complete the race against all that doesn't serve you, against all that doesn't belong to you, and against all that holds you back. Stand the course. Stay the course. Stay the course. Also, I want to ask you, like, where are you in this moment? Are you in the moment maybe where you have made a mistake? What is going on in your life right now? I want you to reflect. That's not something that you have to answer me, but it's something that you have to answer for yourself. Reflect on what's going on in your life right now and how you feel. And I want to remind you also that, like I was saying earlier, this is your story. You are the main character and you are the co-creator of your life, the co-writer of your life. You are part of the storyline, like writing the story and how it unfolds. So tapping into your imagination and create your best life yet. Your best life is yet to come. And it's possible for you. You can create that if you believe it. There's a saying that I've heard. If you look it up, you're gonna find out who is it from. It's like, it's a saying that if you believe you can, then you can. If you believe you can't, then you can't. Both can be true. You can do it if you believe you can do it. You can't do it if you believe you can't do it. It's all about you having faith in yourself. It can be a faith of a mustard seed. Move. Try to do things that will, lead to what you're trying to manifest. Sometimes, even if you can't do it in action, do it in words, do it in prayer. Say the words Do the affirmations until you start to believe it. Sometimes we might not right away connect to these things like affirmations and prayers and stuff and don't have the faith right away. But the more we say it, the more we try to tap in, the more we move, regardless of whether we believe in it or not, the easier it gets over time, right? Regardless of what your life is like right now or what background or environment that you find yourself in or you come from, it is always possible for you. It is always possible for you. It is always possible for you to turn things around. I don't know if you hear the sirens. That might be a sign for you. Maybe it's a confirmation for you, somebody watching this. But yeah, it is always possible for you. Think about how you want the rest of your story to unfold, or at least the next chapter, the next line, the next page of your story. How do you want it to unfold? It doesn't matter where you at or what has already happened. It can change. You just have to want it to change. You just have to know how you want it to change. Use your imagination. What is your best life? What is your version of success? What would that look like? Write that for your character. You got this always. And as always with these messages, tap into whatever you believe in and ask for confirmation if this is personally for you. And exactly ask for more personalized things about your personal situation so that you can get the clarity and the guidance that is meant for you specifically. I might be part of that message to you, but I'm not the whole message. So maybe God or whatever you believe in has more for you regarding this, but you have to go in your prayer closet. You have to tap in for yourself, ask for yourself in order to receive what you need to receive regarding this or any other messages that you might have watched or listened to in any of the platforms or that you might have even heard outside of social media. Always peace, love, and light. Remember that you are always divinely loved, supported, guided. Yeah, you got this.